Athens builds a democracy, Chapter 7, Section 3. Essential question: how did Cleisthenes change Athens' power? Citizenship in Greece. As we talked about in class, the tyrants were really the catalyst that sets Greece in motion for the people realizing that they could influence their government. Because remember that the people had to back the tyrants for the tyrants to take power. So thus, the people realized that they could influence their own government. The major legacy of the ancient Greece is the idea of citizenship. We take for granted that this has always been around, but it always hasn't. And the ancient Greeks were the first to kind of come up with this concept. And citizenship is a person who is loyal to a country and entitled to the protection by the government of that country. And this is very different from the ancient Mesopotamia or Egypt. There, most people were subjects. They had no rights, they had no say in government, and no choice but to obey their rulers. So the Greeks were the first people to develop this idea, and today the word applies to almost everyone. However, in most Greek city-states, only free native-born men who own land could be free citizens. Citizenship restrictions varied in different city-states, so some limited it to landowners, and others must have parents who were both citizens. Some city-states, such as Athens, eventually dropped the landowning requirement. Slaves and foreign-born residents, however, continued to be excluded. As for women and children, they might qualify for citizenship, but they had none of the rights that went with it. So they were thus considered a citizen, but they did not enjoy the rights that the males did. So what exactly were the rights of the Greek citizens? They could gather in the agora, which we talked about a couple classes ago, choose their officials, and pass laws. As we get deeper into democracy, some of these rights will apply. They had the right to vote, hold office, own property, and defend themselves. Much of ancient Greece, both upper and lower class had citizens, but only upper class had power. So you still have that division of kind of the wealthy still making all the decisions. And the lower class people start to demand power, and this creates a major shift in the society. Yet these changes don't happen overnight. These changes are very gradual. And in the 500s BC, two leaders in Athens made some reforms that really kind of get the momentum going for people to have more power, and that was Solon and Cleisthenes. Okay, so we're going to look at Solon first. So in the 500s BC, Athenian farmers owed so much money that they were either forced to work their land for someone else or become slaves. And people would sell themselves into slavery to pay off their debts. And over, these farmers would demand an end to their debts along with land for the poor. So you have this kind of situation where the lower class is growing very angry with the rulers. So in 594 BC, Solon is elected to lead Athens, and he makes some reforms. He frees the enslaved who were enslaved because of debts, and he makes a law that no citizen, that citizen word is very important, can be enslaved. He also organizes citizens into 4 classes based on wealth. But this system, so Solon organizes citizens into 4 classes based on their wealth, and the richest men still held all the power. But this allowed all citizens, now remember all citizens are male, to serve on assemblies, a law-making body. And he also reformed laws to make them less harsh. Solon's reforms were popular among the common people. However, the farmers continued to press Solon to give away the wealthy noble's land. He refused to do this. And after Solon, there was about 30 years of turmoil, and then another tyrant named Pisistratus came into power. Cleisthenes, around 500 PC, Cleisthenes increases the power of the Athenian citizens even more, and he organizes the assembly to take power away from nobles. He organizes citizens into 10 groups known as tribes, and this is based on residency and not on the wealth of the family. As before, all male citizens could belong to the assembly and vote on laws. However, members had new powers. They could debate matters openly, hear court cases, and appoint army generals. He also set up a group of 10 commanders to lead the military, and each tribe had one commander who served for 4 years. And he also reformed the council that helped the assembly govern, and this council was called the Council of 500. All right, please don't forget to take notes in Cornell format, read over your book and add to those notes, and I will see you in class tomorrow. Bye.